Okay, so let's talk about what a data analyst actually does. I mean, what they really do. Because there are a lot of myths out there. And what we're going to do today is take you through a day in the life. And I promise you, it's probably not what you think. All right, let's just get right to it. The number one fear I hear from people trying to get into this field, am I just going to be replaced by a machine? It's a huge question, right? So to explore this, let's meet someone. We'll call her Alice. She's thinking about making the switch into data analytics, but she's got this nagging doubt. Alice imagines her day as just endless rows of Excel, just staring at a screen, mindlessly entering numbers until her eyes glaze over. And you know what? If that was the job, yeah, she should absolutely be worried about AI. But here's the thing. That's not what a real data analyst does. Not even close. So this whole idea leads us to what I call the analyst myth. This idea of just staring at spreadsheets all day. And today, we're going to blow that myth right out of the water. See, on the one hand, you have the myth, this human calculator stuck with spreadsheets, repetitive tasks, and yeah, definitely threatened by AI. But the reality, it's so much cooler. It's about being a data detective. You're investigating, you're telling stories with data, and you're a genuine problem solver. Okay, data detective sounds cool, right? But what does that actually mean? Let's dive into the reality of it, finding the truth hidden in all that noise. All right, so a data detective, what are we talking about here? It's someone who takes this total mess of raw, confusing numbers and transforms it. They turn it into a clear story, a narrative that can actually guide a business. It's less about calculation and way more about translation.
Exactly. You are the detective who finds the truth that everyone else missed. This is so key. Your value isn't in speed, it's in insight. It's about seeing the patterns, the connections, the story that even a super smart algorithm might just skim right over. Think about it like this. AI is amazing. It can whip up a chart in like 2 seconds that shows customer numbers are dropping. Okay, great. But why? Why are they leaving all of a sudden? AI can't tell you about the nuance, the human element behind that trend. That's where you come in. So let's make this super concrete. Let's walk through a typical Tuesday morning and see how you go from a total data mess to asking some really critical questions. So a data detective's day has a real flow to it. It's not just random tasks. You start at 8 a.m. cleaning the mess. Think of it as prepping the crime scene. By mid-morning, you're deep in the investigation, searching for the why. And then by the afternoon, you're in the big leagues. You're telling the story to the CEO. All right, 8 a.m., coffee in hand. You're not opening up a clean little Excel file. No way. You're wrangling raw data. This stuff is a mess. It's got missing information, typos, weird formats. It's just chaotic. And you're not using Excel for this. You're using powerful, professional tools like Python and a library called Pandas to handle datasets so huge they'd literally crash your laptop. This is step one. You're preparing the crime scene so you can actually investigate.
Okay, so the data is clean. Now the fun part starts. 10:30 a.m. is when you put on your detective hat. This is when you start asking the big questions. You see a dip in sales? Okay, so what? Is this just a random one-time glitch? Or is this the beginning of a massive shift in how our customers behave? That's the million-dollar question right there. All right, fast forward to the afternoon. This is where insight turns into impact. It's about presenting a solution, not just a bunch of numbers. It's 1 o'clock, and you're in a meeting with the CEO. You're not there to show them a bar chart and say numbers went down. No, you're there to tell a story. You're there to say, look, we're losing customers, and I found out why. It's that new checkout button we rolled out last Tuesday. It's confusing people. My analysis shows if we switch it back, we could save this company millions of dollars. See the difference? You're not just presenting math, you're presenting a multi-million-dollar solution. Which of course brings us right back to that big scary question about AI. Is it a threat or is it a tool? Is it here to take your job or is it your new partner in crime solving? I mean, this is the elephant in the room, right? Aren't employers just going to get a fancy AI to do all this stuff? Let's tackle that head on. Because the answer, well, it's probably not what you're expecting. Here's how you should think about AI. It's like your pre-assembled workstation. It's the ultimate assistant. It automates all the boring stuff, the tedious parts of cleaning data, so that you can spend your brain power on what really matters, that critical, high-level problem solving. It's a true partnership. Look at how it works. Step 1, you let the AI automate the repetitive junk. Step 2, you use its incredible speed to spot some initial patterns you might have missed. But then, and this is the important part, step 3, you step in. You apply your human intuition, your knowledge of the company, of the industry. And finally, step 4, you, the human, make the final call. The AI is your co-pilot, but you're still flying the plane. Okay, so if you're listening to this and thinking, yes, I want to be the detective, not the calculator, then how do you get there? How do you escape what we call tutorial hell and become that active detective? Look, I know how it is. You can watch 50-hour masterclasses on data theory and you feel like you're learning. But that's not going to teach you how to handle a truly messy, real-world data set when your boss needs an answer by lunch on a Tuesday. That passive watching, that's tutorial hell, and it's a trap. The path to becoming a real analyst is simple, but it's not easy. You have to stop watching and start doing. Get your hands dirty. Go find a messy, real-world project. You need to build the skills that actually get you hired. And that means learning to handle the chaos of reality, not just the neatness of theory. Because at the end of the day, That's the whole gig. The data is telling a story. It's always telling a story. Your job isn't to be a calculator. Your job is to be the translator, the one who can bridge the gap between pure noise and brilliant insight. So the only question left is, are you ready to be the one to translate?